Hey everyone, I'm Noxz, and so far I've gotten 2200 twice this season as God Comp playing a Shadow Priest, and I'm going to be commentating over a few matches I recorded from 2v2 and talking about the importance of defensive play. So for this team, we were trying to kill the Shaman in an opener, and we managed to get him to blow almost everything in deep freeze, but the Warlock got me really low, so I told my Mage that I would run behind a pillar and try to turtle until we were ready to kill again. But we had a little bit of miscommunication, and my Mage tries to soul him in a deep freeze. So I put down a Siphene next to the Warlock and try to run over to the Shaman to help him with pressure. But what ends up happening is the Shaman dispels the Warlock and he silences me. So we have no pressure at this point. We kind of just need to turtle until we're ready to get a kill. So right here we decide to randomly swap to the Warlock, but it doesn't really do anything because we don't really have any pressure going and we don't have any CC for the Shaman. And the Warlock for some reason jumps off and tries to get us to follow him, but I just run behind him on top of his port and start healing. Now, when he ports off, he interrupts me with Shadow Fury to stop my healing, but I spectral guys some of his damage, and we get a deep here. I silence the Shaman, so we can't dispel deep. We end up getting the Warlock pretty low here, but he does have a Spirit Link up, so he uses that, and I fear him right after, but at this point, we kind of had our pressure stopped, and I get silenced. I'm kind of back where I was. I have no mana, or I have a little mana and no health really, so I just kind of put a Siphene down to wall them off so I can get some heals off. I get to near full health here, and we decide to go back on the Warlock. We end up getting him to pop his Absorb, and that's good for us, but at this point we don't really have anything to go back onto somebody, so we kind of just need to stall out and wait for our cooldowns to be back up so we can get a pretty easy kill. Here I'm just kind of getting some damage put into me, but I'm relatively healthy and I still have a lot of defensive cooldowns up. So I kind of just run away from the Warlock and get behind the pillar to try and heal myself some more, and he ends up running behind the pillar with me and getting an instant fear, and he tries to Chaos Bolt me, but I Spectral Guise and my Mage interrupts it. But I disperse here anyway, just because I really needed the mana, and the movement speed kind of helped me to get to near a pillar. So I get myself to full life here, and I mount up just so we can stall out a bit more. At this point it kind of feels like we really need to get a kill. He has his deep freeze up, we're on DR for most of everything, and they don't have any DR. So I start to clean the log because we feel like we want to go on him. But the Shaman ends up running right into us, and we get an easy swap onto the Shaman with a fear on the Warlock. We ends up doing a lot of damage here, and I fade just so I can't get interrupted. It gets a deep on the Shaman. We get him to about half in the deep, and I silence him, and we get a very easy kill here. I'm a little low health, but it doesn't really matter, because my Mage just kind of gets a poly off, and I run behind pillar and get myself to full life. So in this clip, I'm playing a Monk Shadow Priest, and we're against a Warrior versus Shaman. We get a really good opener here, and we end up getting the Warrior really, really low, and he ends up popping Shield Wall, and he goes back to the Shaman, and they pop pretty much every single defensive CD they have. And we know that if we just stall a little bit longer at this point, we can get a pretty easy kill onto one of them. But I want to keep pressure, so I pop VE, just so I can keep healing myself while keeping pressure. And I'm getting silence here, and I get pretty low. And I Spectral Guise to get over the tomb, and my Monk ends up getting a pretty good snare here. So I just kind of heal myself to full, because I know Wind Shear's on cooldown, so I'm fine. And we go back on the Warrior, and I just DP with 3 Shadow Orbs, just to get some health back from the heal. And I get a full fear on the Shaman here, and he has no tremor, so I put down a Siphene next to him right after the Shockwave, and we end up getting a ton of damage onto the Warrior, and my Siphene fears him again. I didn't really notice, so I Psychic Horde, but it didn't even matter, and we get an easy kill onto the Warrior. This just goes to show that if you know when to be offensive and when to be defensive, you can win almost any game. One of the strongest points about Shadow Priest right now is their ability to off-heal. I can get myself to full life in about 4 flash heals from less than half. One thing I've been noticing a lot of Shadow Priests do lately in 3v3 is when their healer is CC'd and their other DPS is getting really heavily focused, a lot of them are staying offensive and not going defensive and spam healing their partner. I have won so many matches just because I completely stopped what I was doing just to spam flash heals until my healer was out of like a Cyclone or Fear or something. Anyway, this has been Noxz with Next Level PvP. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.